Equal permit that death hold me to no avail and I'm free.
White man, they give you one, they take 10.
In the presence of those white men, the British, he ordered that they beheaded her, and the British started running away. He had that they get some of them. They caught 7 of them, locked them in his dungeon, and for every time, instead of killing goats ram for his deities, he kills the white men for his deities. Kosoko became the Oba of Lagos. Businesses were doing well. Foreigners were coming in. The people from Sokoto, people from Mali, people from name it, they're all coming in. The Muslim community were coming up. So he was the first man to allow the Muslim to do their first prayer in Lagos in an open place called mosque. Kosoko is also the first person to give land to a church, the Methodist Church, which is the oldest church in 1847, to build the first church in Lagos. Within Ereko, you have the oldest mosque and the most expensive mosque ever built, and the first church within Ereko on Lagos Island.
Well, the royal family, as you all know, as an African, definitely the royal family is one of the biggest things that happens in every community. And as a royal family in Lagos, and Nigeria in particular, Kosoko royal family is one, the best of them. I've been involved over 50 years, but since I was about 9, started following my grandparents. And 46 years ago, when the other chief left, I joined my existing great-grandfathers.
I am proud to be part of the descendants of King Kosoko, who ruled Lagos between 1845 to 1851. And this is his palace. You are all in his palace. I'm seated in his palace. This palace was built for him in the year 1861. He moved in and took total possession in 1862. The palace is 160 years old, and he died 149 years ago. His tomb is in this palace, beautifully finished. Welcome to the King Kosoko Palace again. The royal family are much more important than the local government chairman, even the governor.
One, the gene of King Kosoko that we all have make us look different from every other family. 2, the truthfulness within the heads of the family. 3, they've been carrying us all along, and we know where we are. We know our history, and we know everything about our family. Hence, we want to really develop it to make it very great.
The Kosoko family is a descendant of the Eshilokun. And Eshilokun is also the descendant of Oba Ologun Kutere. Oba Ologun Kutere is also the descendant of King Ado. And King Ado happened to be the direct son of Prince Ashipa. And Prince Ashipa happened to be the direct son of the Oba of Benin. When you pick those stories and those lineages, you get to see that Kosoko is a great-great-grandson of the Oba of Benin. He is a 5 generations away from the Oba of Benin. But you see, the history of Lagos is so huge that it is mostly being discussed halfway or no way. Lagos had been in existence before the jihad of the 14th century. And because that has been the history of what people talk about, the Benins have been the one controlling the lagoon, the Lagos lagoon, and the territories of where it's being regarded as Lagos today. But let's pick the history of Lagos from 1500. And 1500 was at the advent of this jihad that is being used to dissolve the existence of the Oyo Empire and the Ife Kingdom. That resulted to people moving away from Ife, people moving away from Oyo towards these parts, because they were all moving based on the divination of that oracle known as Ifa. But when they came in here, they landed, they settled. Something happened that now made the representatives of the Benin kingdom to start asking for tributaries, because everybody is supposed to pay levy just like they've been paying. But that resulted to a bigger conflict within the Aworis, the people from Ife, and the people from Oyo, people from Ekiti. They were so much that they had to eliminate the chief warlord of the Oba of Benin, whose name was Ashil. He was killed, body mutilated, but a prince who was not the crown prince of Benin then, named Akipa, saw that happen. He took the corpse back to Benin. And because he took the corpse back to Benin, he also has the royal blood of the Benin kingdom. So the Oba of Benin did nothing but to just ask him to do him a favor, made him his vessel, gave him his own daughter, and sent him back to Lagos. He came into Lagos, he came into this place called Lagos. And the Aworis saw him and they allowed him to settle at a place called Igadugoran, the pepper plantation. That is where you have the palace of the Oluwo of Lagos, the Oluwo of Eko, popular known as the Oba of Lagos. And there he says, he gave birth to just one son, and that son happened to be Ado. Ado now also, when at the death of his own father, Ado took the remains of his father to Benin. On getting to Benin, because the Oba of Benin realized that he's also doing well, representing the kingdom of Benin, Oba of Benin now decided to also give him another princess as a wife, send him back again to Lagos with the first son of all other chiefs in the Benin kingdom. On getting to Lagos Island, they all settled, start doing well again. Based on all what they keep doing, everybody saw that they are doing good. Then the Oba of Lagos, who happened to be King Ado, went ahead and married two other women. He married from a town called Akpa, so close, sharing boundary with the then Dahomey, wider, the present countries known, the present place known as Benin Republic and Togo. That town called Akpa, he married a woman from there. Then he went as far again to marry another woman from the Awori tribe again. This one he married from the place they call Ota. Ota is in the present place in where you call the, if you're going to Songo, Orili Ota, that is where Orili Ota, he married that one again. Now, he has three wives. The first wife, who happened to be the one of the Benin descent, a princess, gave birth to one son named Gabaru. The second wife, who he married from Apa, gave birth to just one son named Akishimein. Now, the third wife find it difficult to give birth. She kept having stillbirths. But she did something, she cried back to her own family, who own a deity that is known as Adamu-Osha. They brought the Adamu-Osha to Lagos for her to be able to conceive and also have a child. And when she now had her own child, she had the lady everybody knows as Erelu Kuti. And her real name is Iku Kwamiti. But you know, Iku Kwamiti grew up to be very influential, that her name later changed to Erelu Kuti. So let's pick it up this way. Gabaro, because the lineage thing is supposed to be first son, thing like the Benin Kingdom. Gabaro had a son called Eletukekere, and Gabaro died. Eletukekere had to take over. Eletukekere also ruled for a minimum of 2 years without any issue. He also died. Now they had to call the most visible direct son to King Ado, who happened to be Akishimein. Akishimein became the Oba of Lagos. He ruled beautifully well. It was Akishimein that introduced slave trade into Lagos. The Portuguese came in and do a very good business with Akishimehin. It was during the era of Akishimehin that they started importing asbestos roofing sheets, painting, bricks, and that was when they built the first palace, brick palace in Igadigoron on the Lagos Island. This was around 1678 because he ruled for about 45 years. Akishimehin ruled for 45 years. But when he also died, he had no son to replace him. So now they went to the house of Erelu. They went to the house of Ikukwamiti, who happened to have 3 sons. And one of the sons died when he was so young. Then the 2 other sons are so powerful. Spiritually, they are powerful. The first son is called Ologun Kutere. The second son is called Shokun. The other son that died without issue, his name is Benegun. So with death that has taken him away, he has nothing to do with the entire lineage anymore. So we had 2 other princesses, and those princesses are Ologun Kutere and Shokun. Now, Lagos had no king, and the 2 of them are so powerful spiritually. They start, there's this Cold War that resulted to almost a full-blown war. Everybody had their supporter here and there, but their mother had to come in between them and say, "Come, okay, 2 of you will not prostrate for each other. You are going to take the chieftaincy title of my elder brother, who happened to be, the title is called Olorogun Idatufa." He made his son, the second son, that position, who is so influential today. Is known as the Onilegbale of Lagos. Then the first son, Ologun Kutere, became the king, as he became the Oba of Lagos. She was so influential that she now made herself the most influential princess. And the most influential princess happened to be who will now become the Erelu of Lagos. That becomes the mother to the king, the mother to the palace, the deciding factor of what the king does. That is who Erelu Kuti is. We have one now, the current Erelu Abiola Dosumu. She also occupied that soul till today. There have been about 5 Erelus to date.
If not for King Kosoko, there wouldn't have been independence in Nigeria today. But thank God, his steadfastness, and he looks forward. He foresaw what is really going to happen. In fact, he preferred the Portuguese than the British. However, it all happened like that. He did his best, and the best we are continuing.
How is a king chosen? Before today, there are various ways, depending on your tradition and culture of where the thing is happening. But Lagos, it is done before today. Like I said, it is the first son thing, because we have the Benin heritage. But when politics, money, and the power of merchants and traders set in, and the habits of people not having a direct son or issue, that now brought about looking for other lineage within the same lineage to occupy the stool. So it now results to the calling. They will summon all the available eligible princes before an Ifa priest.
Orúkọ tèmi ni Oba Kosoko 8 Kings. Èmi ni mò ń bọ gbogbo irúnmọlẹ̀ tó wà ní inú Ìgàyè. Níjọ́ mẹ́sàn-án ni máa fún àwọn irúnmọlẹ̀ ní ìjẹ ìmu. Báwọn bàbá ńlá wa ṣe fi sílẹ̀ nìyẹn. Ibi iná bí mi sí.
A typical Oba would do what his people does. He doesn't have a particular religion. He will be involved in all religion. In all religion. Before the Islam, of course, we have a religion that we follow. And that same religion is what is being used to crown, to process the Oba. They will not use Islam, neither will they use Christianity. So they use the traditional religion. And the traditional religion is in multiple phases. You have the Ogun religion, you have the Shango religion, you have the Oya religion, you have the Osun religion, you have the, name it, there are so many of them. So so Oba is involved in the inter-traditional religion, Islam religion, and Christian religion. If there any other one too, we do. One thing in the past that I wish we keep, and one thing in the past that I think we abolish. I don't think that I've never thought of anything that would have been abolished. If we've kept everything the way it was, we'll have a better place. When you people will say an Oba is dead, we don't believe Oba died. We believe Oba has gone to join his ancestors. And the moment that is declared, his remains will be put together, put in the secret place within the palace, where women will not go to, except if you're a girl that has not started menstrual period, that has started witnessing menstrual period, can also go in there. But it is only for the male child within the palace and the male people that are man enough within the community that goes in there. They put him together, do all the traditional prayer that are necessary. The way they brought him into the same throne, the same way they will take him out of the same throne, to make space for a living being to come sit on that same throne. I don't know if you understand. They bring him in with a spiritual ritual process and put him on that seat. What they'll do is also to go through that same thing to remove him, to make the place vacant. So the moment that is done, they will now declare him dead, still vacant. But when that thing is not done, it will not be declared dead and still vacant. So after that process has been done, of course, there are two ways. It's either they bury him in the usual sacred place for all the kings. They keep burying them together. So if you go to exhume, you will not know which carcasses belong to who. The royal stool is like a precedent, because when the royal stool is put together, when it was put together with assistants and subordinates. And those assistants and subordinates give birth to what you have as the president or the governor, the chairman, and the vice chairman. The vice chairman is in the palace is regarded as your Otumba, while the defense minister of defense is regarded in the royal dialect in the palace as the Balogun. Because Balogun you have various Balogun. Balogun are the commandants. I refer to as the chief commandants of wars. So if it were left the way it was before the politicians like the Awolowo and all the rest started making the royal stool to be so lower than that of the chairman. Because if a typical royal-blooded person is in government, he will never in any way reduce the power of an Oba below that of the chairman. But you see, those people saw it as, what can we do to make an Oba stool to look less important? Because I don't have a blood link to them. What they did was to reduce them to that level and make the president to be superior, make the governor to be superior, make the chairman to be superior, and even the vice chairman much more superior than an Oba.
Ahmed Talawambe, Emi, Debo, Jamiu, Oba Kosoko la Ahmed, gbogbo wa. À ń bọ eégún Ìgà, à ń bọ Ògúnlákáyé, à ń bọ Èṣù Láàlú, à ń bọ Ṣìgìdì, Ṣàngó, Ọbàtálá, Ọ̀ṣun, bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ là ń bọ. Gbogbo ẹ̀ ló lágbára, kò sí èyí tí ò lágbára nínú gbogbo ẹ̀. Ọ̀làsìn, àmọ́ gbogbo wọn náà la máa fún lóúnjẹ. Tá a bá fún wọn lóúnjẹ wọn, Ọlọ́run máa febi pa wá. Iṣẹ́ táwọn wọn ò ní jẹ.
When you talk about sacrifice, right here you have the altar. This is our altar. In the church they have altar. In the mosque they have altar. Sacrifices are done in various forms and in various methods, depending on who sees who wants to do it. If you go to church today, you go to do Thanksgiving and you go with sacrifice. It's either you go with cash, or you go with goats, you go with chicken, you go with eggs, all in the name of Thanksgiving. Excuse me. If you go to mosques too, you do that kind of thing. But you see, the deities, the traditional religion does not request those things from you. They don't ask you for money. What they ask from you is to do the needful. Go to the usual worshiping period as they do every 9 days. Do your prayers, say your prayers, and if there is anything that comes to say, okay, there's going to be XYZ thing to be given to the deities, of course, that is sacrifice in the name of whatever. Sometimes you do sacrifice in the name of fasting, even in traditional religion. So sacrifice depends on which one you are looking at. Is it sacrifice of goat, cow, chicken, or sacrifice of water, or sacrifice of money? But deities don't collect money. And the traditional believers, the traditional religion don't have gods. They don't have small gods. We don't have small gods. What we have are deities that in the Islamic world are referred to, their own anointed ones are also referred to as what? They are referred to as Anobi, they are referred to as man of God. And in the Christian world, some of them are regarded as saints. So it depends on how you are looking at it. But you see, those things we are brought in here to take us away from our traditional way of life that makes us to be sincere, truthful, and honest.
A máa ń lọ sọ́dọ̀ Olódùmarè ni kí Elédùmarè kó sáyẹn sọ̀rọ̀ wa. So kò sígbà tá a bá ń bọ̀ a máa ń ránṣẹ́ ni pé lọ́ba jíṣẹ́ fọ́lọ́run o, ọdẹ jíṣẹ́ ó dẹ̀ ń dá a lóhùn, àwọn dẹ̀ máa ń lára gbá nǹkan tá a ṣe lánàá o àti rí èsì ẹ̀ o. Òsígbà Ọlọ́run má ti kọ́ wá sí ìyẹn la máa ń mú àwọn àbúrò wa káwọn náà wá fojú sí i. Bọ́sà àwọn bàbá ńlá wa wọ́n yẹ káà fojú sí i làwọn náà ṣe mọ̀. So ẹ tí ò bá fojú sí i òṣè máa parẹ́ ni, Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kó ṣe àwa parẹ́. So tẹ́mi náà bá dé àwà tí ń bá lọ, àwọn àbúrò mi ti kó sẹ́yìn, àbáyé náà ṣe ń ṣe o, báyìí ni bọ̀dá ṣe ń ṣe o, kò ṣe máa jẹ́ nìyẹn. Èyí táwọn sí ni wọ́n ṣe, wọ́n sọ dáadáa pẹ̀ ni, because àwọn míì wà tẹ́pọ̀ tó bá ṣe sinimá sí wọ́n máa lọ bẹ Ògún lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ sí dáadáa, àwọn míì wà wọ́n ń bẹ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ síkà, but àwọn tó ń ṣèkà yẹn wọ́n lè rí ilé ayé gbé, because nǹkan tá a kọ́kọ́ bá nìyẹn. Babaláwo ọ̀tọ̀, abọrẹ̀ ọ̀tọ̀, Òṣùgbó ọ̀tọ̀, onífá ọ̀tọ̀. Èmi ni Ọbáfẹ́mi Ọlọ́jọ́ Kòsọ́kọ́ 8 Kings. Mo fẹ́ mú yín lọ sí ojú eégún bàbá ńlá ìyá mi, mo dẹ̀ máa mú yín dé ìdí Ògún àti Èṣù. Àkàyé ó máa ń gba omi, eégún gà ó ń gba ọtí. Eégún gà ó máa ń gba ẹdìyẹ.
Sometimes it's fowl.
Ó máa ń gba àgbò. Tágbà bá ka ó ń gbẹ̀jẹ̀ ó ń gba màálù.
Sometimes cow. It depends on what but not human.
Ó ń gba epo.
Palm oil.
Eégún gà ó ń gba obì.
This is kola nut.
Òun la máa fi ń béèrè pé àdúrà tá a ṣe yìí ṣó gbà bí ó gbà. Eégún gà ó ń gba orógbó. So a máa tún fi ń béèrè ọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ náà ni. Ó dẹ̀ máa ń dá wa lóhùn, á dẹ̀ máa dẹ́ iná lóhùn. Eégún gà ó máa ń gba àtàrí.
This is alligator pepper. This is alligator pepper. So we use it also.
Bàbá wa Abíọ́lá Aláṣẹ tó bá dijọ́ ọ̀sẹ̀ á jókòó báyìí, àwọn ẹbí á jókòó báyìí, àwa bẹ̀rẹ̀ àmómi àfi ṣàdúrà kó tù kó bà o, kí jóbíjó fún o, káyọ̀ báyọ̀ fún o, kí gbogbo ayé jẹ kárí mu kárí ná kárí lò. wíwá tẹ wá bí ẹ̀dẹ́lẹ̀ láyà tàlàfíà o.
That is as we come here, may Almighty God give you more.
Àwa gbé fún bàbá wa aláṣẹ
We give to him.
ọlọ́jọ́ kò sọ̀kọ́ àwa mú òun náà ṣàdúrà.
He will take some part of it.
Ẹ má bínú pé mò ń jí iná tí mo. Àwa bọ̀ tí a fi ṣàdúrà a tún kó bá wọn. Jóbi jókòó yà bá fún wa kárí jẹ kárí mu kárí náà kárí lò. Àmọ́ mo sì kó sì máa mọ̀ wa o. Àwa gbé fún bàbá wa. Ìyẹn bàbá olóyè. A ṣàdúrà fún gbogbo àwọn ẹbí. A ṣàdúrà fara. A ṣàdúrà fáwa náà. Àwa mú. Àwa mú epo. Òun ni ọjọ́ ọbẹ̀. Àwa tú epo sí lára báyìí. Ó tún kó bá o. Kárí jẹ kárí mu kárí náà kárí lò. Ẹ sọ fún wọn sí lásán o torí aláàrẹ torí bàbá olè la ṣe ṣe o torí àlàyé fún ọ ní nǹkan báyìí o. Eléyìí
For you here.
ajé. Eléyìí èṣù. Òun ló wà lẹ́lẹ̀ yìí. Eléyìí wọ́n máa ń pè ní shark àbí báwo lè ṣe máa ń pè bá a ṣe ń pè lóyìnbó òyìnbó.
Now, if you look at the Cartoon Network, they make so much good presentation of witch and wizard. And because they do a better presentation, we'll allow our children to see that as a common thing. And some people say they don't watch, and the children keep watching. That's the best Cartoon Network they watch now. But you see, in our own deity, in our own way of life, in our custom, those two things are used by the male and the female within a realm of a tradition. So the female will use one, while the male will use the other one. So everything you see here can be used for good and can also be used for bad. But we have decided in our own way of life, what we met in our palace, that everything in here is always being used for good. Just like they'll tell you, the British, the white men, the Western world, they use the wizard principles to invent so many things. But we use all these to promote, prolong, and guide the well-being of ourselves and people that we love. And that's the reason I asked that this should be opened and prayers for us to meet again. We'll be departing now to meet again, but not to meet because we want to fight, not to depart, not to depart because we don't want to see again, but we are departing for us to meet in good health, in good faith, in more wisdom that would lead us to prosperity, and businesses, opportunity will come our way. We'll see the better part of life where we are still young, and see the good part of life when we are getting old. And that's the reason that this place is open for us to also have personal prayers within our own heart of hearts and tell God what we want, because all these are deities that are links that are linked to God Almighty. Because the moment we start this, what we do first, we make references and preferences to whatever we have here, and also give all the glory to God for making this to happen. Yes, we were in the warehouse of where the relics of King Kosoko. You know, like in our family, the last existing slave died in 1996. My granddad used to call him Uncle Josie. So these are things that were used on them and his lineage before 1996. You know, slave trade was abolished before fully in Lagos colony around 1838, but these are also relics of it. We have several other shackles, neck, legs, and documents to show what the slave business used to look like those days. And this one is the rickshaw. Rickshaw is also very influential within the 18th centuries. This is part of what King Kosoko will sit on, and some of those domestic servants will definitely pull him along, and you have other people using umbrellas to cover him. He sits here, and this is of the damask fabric. This small one So in the shrine of relics of shrine of King Kosoko, we have so many other things that we are looking at. So this is also the Gbedu drum. I told you in the beginning that Lagos is of the Benin royalty. So, and as at when King Ado was coming into Lagos with the other chiefs, they came in with drums. And these drums are the drums that the kings, the royal family danced to in the history and lifestyle of the Lagos. You have this. You also have another one I call Igbe. Igbe is what Prince Sikiru Kosoko, the General Secretary of King Kosoko descendant family. This is Eyo. There are two kinds of Eyo in Lagos. You have the Eyo of the royal houses, and you have Eyo that is of deities. So the Kosoko does not have Eyo of deities, but we have Eyo of royal houses. And Eyo is white masquerade clothed in white with a Portuguese hat design. And the Kosoko has royal blue as her own color. So this is one important celebration that is also used to mourn the dead. It is not used for any celebration than for the dead. So sometimes you see some people use it for wedding, they use it for some other thing. It is not proper. It is for the dead. It is a play that is being put together to wash away and usher away the spirit of the dead among the living. You can make fun of the most richest man and the most powerful man in Lagos. Nothing will happen. This is Gelede. Traditionally, this skin belongs to an animal, and this animal has 8 dots, and those 8 dots means a divination, the king of all divination or within the Ifa deities, and that thing is called a Ejiogbe. And a Ejiogbe means death has no hold on you, sickness has no hold on you. You become successor and successful over all troubles and illnesses. So it is customary that he will step on this first before clamping on the stool to sit. And this is his traditional stool, Oba Kosoko, King Kosoko, who ruled Lagos between 1845 to 1851. And for every sculpture you see here has a name and a meaning. And for every 99 days during his lifetime, they appease each one of those things that carries his seats. So if you're not part of them, if you're not part of his lineage and you sit on it, and those things are not done, the consequences might be very, very bad. So it is real, it is roots. I'm just telling you the honest truth here again. So this is the seat. And by seat, you have these 2 light bearer. On the light bearer, there is always fire placed in this ear, and it's placed there because those days there are no electricity. So they put this there, and when he sits, you don't see his face. So he sees everybody, you don't see his face because you dare not see his face. You dare not look at him face to face. Everybody put their heads down and keep saying, my Lord, your Lord, and like that. So that is it. And right here, when I said, when King Ado was coming from Benin, this he came with. This is the scepter. In Benin, it is called Ibiam. Right here in Lagos, it's called Abere. When you see Oba of Benin does this, when they dance, so this is the staff of office of a typical Lagos head. When he came back to Lagos, after the British realized that the business in Lagos is not doing well, they had to build this palace for him, that he should return to Lagos, so the business of Lagos will come back to normal. So because then someone else was on the throne as Oba of Lagos, what they did was to make him to come to Lagos as the Oloja of Lagos, Oloja of Lagos, Oloja of Ereko. So the whole of this place. So now this is the palace of the Oloja of Lagos. So when he sits on this. So this continues to be the Oloja of Lagos too. And when he sits again, want to ascend his power, he sits on this. So he operates on the two seats as Oba of Lagos, Oloja of Lagos. So everybody regarded him as Oba of Lagos until he died in 1872, April 1872. This is the second one. You can see this one has a different name. This is King Kosoko. This one is Odusi. His grandson also attained to that stool of the Oloja of Lagos. So this is his own. Everybody, the moment you are getting to the throne, you get to do as many as possible. So if the king passes away, they bury him with one of these. These are also traditional staff of office for the deities controllers, the priests and the priestesses that control each one of those deities. So instead of carrying this is what they use. This is called the Ida. So they use this. This is also part of the gift given to him by the British. The Portuguese gave him, the British gave him, everybody kept giving him something to show. And he also gave them something similar back. But you see, they will come to give you one thing to take 10 things. That has been the problem of we the African. These ones are relics of war. The war relics of King Kosoko. You have the spear, the bow, this Fulani sword. This one is not of war, but is of control. The most supreme traditional head in Lagos, the Oshogbo. This is a typical example of a typical Oshogbo staff. You have the Dengon. All these are part of it. One other thing again is this one. All these things are deities. This one is for the Shango theme. I don't know if you watch the Shango theme. You have this. This is called the staff of office being used by Shango to control fire and some other things. So you have plenty of all those things here. The cowries that were collected from everybody, the indigenous here, that resulted to the formation of First Bank in 1894, just across the street here, because everything, this is the commercial nerve center of Nigeria, Lagos, till tomorrow. This is one chair that it sits to relax. You can see this is of the Benin finish. So you can see that, and you have the umbrella too. Keep telling you that we are of the Benin tradition.
I am Prince Sikiru Adeoye Kosoko, General Secretary to King Kosoko Royal Family of Lagos. Thanks so much, and God bless you all. Thank you very much.
With all this, I think I've been able to show. These are just few of the things that we have around here. Few of the things we have. But I'm telling you that some other good time again, when you come around, you get to see more. But thank you very much for coming to King Kosoko Palace. And I hope next time when you come, you get to see more of some other good things that you'll be hearing about. My name still remains Adiola Kosoko, the Alashe of Ibutega and the Oloja elect of Lagos. Thank you so much.
Yo